Hey, welcome today. We have Rochelle Foster with us today, who is a pastor at the Well. Her and her husband Todd reside back in this area. She's not new to the area, but you moved back a couple years ago, correct?
Right, that's right.
When you moved back, what was your purpose? Did you have a purpose at that point when you moved back, or were you just moving back to be comfortable? How did y'all come back to this area?
Well, honestly, I've lived away for 18 years, and I moved back because I was traveling as a motivational speaker for women's Christian events, and I had little children, and the cost of living where I was living was high, and I had no family, no support system, and so my parents were like, why don't you come home, let us help you while you're traveling, and I realized that the quality of life here was better because the cost was better. However, I loved the city that I was living in. I was living in Covington, Louisiana, Mandeville area, and it's just so charming and lots of culture and
antiques
antiques and opportunities and just so much to do. And we loved it, but really cost of living was high. So one of the beauties of our city is that you can live here and actually have a quality of life that's cost affordable.
You know, when the trains, when the railroad industry went down, our town fell from, Presley Boulevard being what it was to Delaware being where everything was happening. And then Delaware kind of died down and they moved it out to Veterans, and now we're trying to move it on the frontage road, and it seems like, try not to get discouraged, but it seems like we're fighting a losing battle.
Right.
Because to me, the people have gotten pitted against each other for whatever reason that may be.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So I'd like you just to talk a little bit about, if you don't mind, what you brought here as far as, the Well is concerned, because this is different in this area. I lived here 41 years. I worked as a teenager, and it wasn't illegal at the time, folks. You could be 13 and work, but I worked here for Budweiser, loading beer trucks. I did a lot more in these walls, and we'll talk about that one day. But now, it's a place of love. It's a place that looks like heaven to me, which is so neat because it's got
diversity.
So much diversity,
Yes.
How did that idea come about?
Well, the thing the Lord spoke to us was that there were 4 things that we needed to go at, and one was racism, that there had to be a healing. There had to be a racial healing, and one was religion. That there's so much division between denominations.
So you're tackling the elephants in the room.
The elephants,
yeah.
And then the poverty and the oppression. There's not just poverty here. There's an oppressive spirit. Like we settle for this. We settle for what looks like our downtown. We settle instead of saying, wait, we could make this anything we dream of. We could do things here. And so really our heart right now is to go after those 4 spirits. I guess I feel a little weird saying the 4 spirits, but we felt like that was what the Lord was showing us, that there's some things that are hindering the growth here.
Right.
And then if we would go after them, and so we've been faithful to do that. We did exactly what He told us to do. We're going to love people, try to heal racism. We're going to try to unify the church as much as people will unify with us. And so we are intentional to do things with other people. Even this weekend, we're doing our students with the Baptist Association, just trying to bridge the gap. Like, we're all in the same team.
What's impressive to me is not just we're going to try, or we're going to complain, or we're going to come up with an answer. I don't mean this to stroke y'all's ego, but you guys are actually steppers. You know what I mean? You step. And I admire that, and that's what it's going to take for this city. Everybody, I don't know if they settle. They settle because what we have done as a city is we give our input, and we may have some ideas, but we don't put our money where our mouth is.
Right.
Nobody's taking action on those things,
right?
So I'd be careful if I said the word we're settling for it. We're not taking action at all.
Right.
And that's a little bit more about what I wanted to talk about. You guys wanted to show a vision for people to come and be loved and everybody be accepted like church is supposed to be. Well, let's forget that supposed to. Let's step and do something about it. And now here it is, come to fruition. You know what I mean? And has been blessed for that. And tell them about the neat idea. Todd told us in church also about the neat idea you had to, how you're going to help. And I know there's some loopholes and some things to go through, but how are you going to help with the downtown buildings in Macomb?
Well, we just had an idea. One thing, when you go to different cities, people are just drawn to the downtown area. And when you go around ours, Brookhaven has got a lot of life, and even Summit and Magnolia are really reviving their downtown areas. And we want Macomb, because that's where we are, that's the heart, to even be greater than that. Like, we really want it to be impressive when you bring someone to visit, because a lot of people visit our church and they love our church, they love the community of people, but you kind of drive around the old areas because it's an eyesore instead of attractive. And so one thing I asked was, and what we're trying to do is find out the protocol. I know that just as of recent, the mayor has got some great ideas of bringing industry or bringing creativity or aesthetic value to our city. And we had the idea that we would even offer potentially to paint the downtown area. And so what we're doing right now is talking with designers that would give their free time. Libba Alford, who's just a staple in the community, and she's on the beautification committee, about what if we painted downtown? What if we painted these eyesore areas, and we offer to paint and the paint? Like, what if we just said, let us do it. Let us contribute to making it beautiful again. And so we're in the process of those conversations right now and connecting with people. And what I love is that there really are a lot of people here that want to see this town beautiful.
They do.
There really are. And so if we can just come together and say, and Miss Libba and I were even talking today about maybe the first step is to clean up. And if every church in our city would just take a piece, like I'll take a piece and you take a piece and we all take a piece, then we might can clean it up, so then we can go back and start beautifying it. So this isn't just a well thing. For me, it's personal, because the Lord called us here. And so I'm here for life, it appears. Unless He tells me differently, I'm here. And so instead of going, there's some cities that my husband and I love. We love Fairhope, Alabama. We love to go down to the beach. We just love, even the coast of Mississippi's really come around. And it's like, why not create a city, if we're here for life, that people want to come visit? Like, it's charming, it's safe, you feel loved, you want to be here. There's great places to eat. And so that's our heart. Like, if we're here for life, let's invest. And what I would love is for my kids to go to college and say, I cannot wait to move back home to be a part of what they're doing there.
Wow.